Bueno, ya estamos en línea. Vamos a darle un poquito a hacer alguna misión. Ya sabéis que el que quiera que pregunte cualquier cosa en el chat y le responderé a sus preguntas o a sus dudas. Aunque lo esté viendo en reproducción, ya sabéis estar atentos a los directos o ponerme algún comentario y os contaré lo que necesitéis saber del juego o
You know, after seeing so many
cualquier duda.
people get chomped, trip into sulfur pools,
Así que nada,
shot by
un
marauders,
saludito.
I always figured we'd die young. But just because you expect it doesn't make it any easier. Oh shit. Next chance we get, I'm buying you a Spectre bottle so we can proper drown this melancholy.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to try Spectrum when we went out drinking. Is it any good?
It is without a doubt the worst, most foul liquid mankind has ever had the misfortune to invent. You'll love it.
I admit part of me expected you to stand by your old friend. For better or worse, Wells was responsible for putting you back on your feet. That said, he's also a wanted criminal. For information regarding his whereabouts, you are entitled to collect a reward from Percival. I understand you've infiltrated the Ministry. The things you discovered there must have been shocking, even disturbing. Halcyon is on the verge of a total systems collapse. The truth is malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, followed by a breakdown of society, followed by extinction. I know this must come as a surprise to you. I imagine you have questions.
Guess Monarch folk ain't the only ones fucked around here. That ain't exactly an uplifting thought.
I know your face. Stellar Bay's most infamous hunter. How curious that you've thrown your lot in with the captain. Monarch may harbor delusions of independence, but make no mistake. You are a part of our colony. If we fall, Monarch falls with us.
Is that why we were suffering plague in Edgewater?
Yes, Miss Holcomb, we knew why. We've known for some time that Edgewater was dying. The colony itself is dying. The suffering you experienced in Edgewater, the disease, the starvation, will soon spread across. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse. We need to talk. You handed Edgewater over to a band of dissidents. I can't have this. Adelaide McDevitt and her people have no place in the halcyon that is to come. Edgewater...
I will hunt beasts until I'm out of ammunition, and then I'll fight a good long while after. But I am not about to mow down a crowd of innocent people.
Then I suggest...
You're a monster.
Someone has to be. Now is not the time for half measures, Captain. I need a decision from you. You replaced a loyal, if hard-headed, town leader with a revolutionary. Adelaide's people have turned Edgewater into a hub of dissidents. These people are dangerous. They're going to become more dangerous after the collapse. We need to put them down. Now. The dissidents currently occupying Edgewater answer to no one. They're an unknown, unpredictable variable, and I can't have that. I'm not asking you to be a murderer. I'm asking you to be a surgeon. Edgewater is a necrotic limb on the body of the colony. It must be severed. Don't fool yourself. The dissidents occupying Edgewater are rebels harboring dangerous and seditious ideas. Left to their own devices, their numbers will grow. Graham Bryant and his merry band of morons caused enough trouble on Monarch. No. Allowing thousands of colonists to starve to death because we couldn't make one cold-blooded decision is insane. What I'm suggesting...
You talk less like a human than mechanicals I've known.
I am responsible for every single human life in this. Steal your spine. Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be, Captain. I rather like you, and I'd hate to have you shot for disobeying a direct order.
I won't. You're better than this, Captain. You have to be. Don't make me choose between you and Edgewater, Captain. Between you and...
I'm glad you can keep control. Edgewater is beyond saving. We're going to have to erase the... You were in the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. Do you remember what you discovered there? There was... In fact, Spacer's Choice manufactured the insurance claim has been locked in committee for years. But the individual response... I'm arranging for a delivery of mechanicals to Edgewater. These mechanicals have been equipped with the same termination... Once the mechanicals are finished cleaning out Edgewater, I'll need you to go in and clean out the mechanicals. I appreciate the flattery. One last thing. Spacer's Choice sent a team of soldiers to investigate your little misadventure in the geothermal plant. Tread lightly. I like you, Captain, but you're not worth that much paperwork. I prefer keeping our relationship strictly off the book. Report back to me when the job's done.
Where are we headed?
Get rid of Edgewater. I'll answer however I can. The program is logical. It's reasonable. Phineas, help me execute the lifetime employment program. Was there...
Stellar base engineer named your canning machine?
I don't rightly know. That'd have been Guster, I think. I'd have...
Yeah, huh?
Adjutant Akande has instructed me to reward you for information leading to the arrest of Phineas Wells. Quite so, sir. Personal assistant to Adjutant... Ah. Oh, you were being serious. I'm obliged to inform you that... Will there be anything else? Personal assistant to the art of... Will there be anything else?
through 3.
No me puedo creer que nos quieran hacer matar a Frontemar, ¿eh? Es que estoy flipando. I don't know great. He cambiado la misión y todo, que iba a hacer la de camino a la esperanza y todo.
How you
La he
been doing,
cambiado
Yoko?
porque tengo
If
que
you ever
poner
want to talk
solución
about
a
what
esto
happened, my
rápidamente.
ears are open.
Pero rápidamente. Seguro que tenemos alguna artimaña para poder librarnos de matarla.
A reminder to all crew members, there is only one toilet on...
Frontemar.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Me da esta cosa, ir para allá. Así os lo digo. Me da esta cosita.
I think I'll initiate an...
Me voy a llevar a Nioka y a Parvati porque les he equipado con dos armas
unscheduled rest cycle while you're out.
armas tecnológicas que están de lujo. Una hace los enemigos enanos y otra les pone como si estuvieran en la luna, no tienen centro de gravedad. Y la verdad que está de lujo. Vale, pues voy a ir para allá pitando porque no me creo que tengamos que matar a Frontemar, ¿eh? Es que me están entrando ganas de llorar y todo. A ver qué nos dice la hippie y seguramente que le pongamos solución, ¿eh? No tenemos que sufrir. ¿Dónde estás? Central geométrica, espérate, me he venido. Ah, vale, tendremos que activar, vamos a montar unos robots. Así que tendremos que activarlos antes, no tenemos que ir a Frontemar. Tendremos que ir donde están fabricados los robots para activar el protocolo de exterminio. A ver si podemos hacer algo para que se vuelvan a nuestro favor.
Describe. It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. This area is currently experiencing a surprise audit. Turn around and head back to your designated workplace or domicile. What in law's name? Junior Deputy Constable? Says here you were deputized by Constable Reyes of Edgewater? Well, can't say I've ever heard of the Junior Deputy Constable position, but everything looks to be in order. Don't let me get in your way. Go on through.
Thank you very much. Avanzamos. A ver qué podemos hacer con los robots, macho. Es que encima como lo hagamos seguramente la nioca que se nos pide. Nada, pues lo hemos activado. Hemos activado el maldito protocolo de exterminio, No doy crédito, macho. Vamos a ir hasta Frontemar y a ver qué pasa.
System. Alt. Sweeping the enter.
When I was stranded... We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Move along.
I've just been informed. You should be proud of yourself, Captain. You're on the verge of making history. There's just one last job I need you to do for me. I've made arrangements for you to journey to the Hope. You will board your former colony ship, reactivate its navigation systems. Once the Hope is in position, we will have everything we need to begin healing the colony. Technology, Captain. The same technology that allowed under the Lifetime Employment Program. I won't lie to you. We're going to have to dispose of some of the Hope's settlers in order to make room for Halcyon's rotating. But try to understand. Many of your fellow settlers are beyond. The Hope has been out of commission for years. You'll need to connect your own ship to the Hope's, then make your way to the Hope's bridge. You've proven yourself more than capable. I don't know if there's anyone better suited to this mission than you. Give yourself some credit, Captain. You've come this far without dying in some sense. I have the highest faith in your abilities, Captain. Speak. Wells had a lead. He may be a dangerous criminal. I'd prefer to have Wells...
We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra too. Or the Sun. The Hope is the Groundbreaker's prettier, sleeker sister. She wandered off and got lost for 70 years, but just... Also, there are hundreds of thousands of frozen organic life forms hibernating in her hold. Forgetfulness can be an early warning sign of I need you to reroute power from our... You'll have to connect me to the Hope's...
something.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Mr. Conde messaged ahead. I wish this place were in better condition for you, but we're in a bit of a bind. Seems the damn auto mechanicals think we're intruders. Too many. They're all over the rest of the ship. We shut off the main power, so they're disabled for now. But if you go hooking your ship up, I suspect they'll recharge. And that means trigger-happy auto mechanicals. I'm not going to get in your way, but I'm also not going to send more of my staff to their deaths. We tried that. Didn't work. We stored what cards we could find in the badge station to my right, but it's locked off. Can't just hand over whole property. Sorry. What? Come on, I'm just... Ugh. Fine. I'll have someone unlock the...
Processing.
Incoming!
I'll fix you right up!
Security actions.
And that means trigger... We stored what cards we could find in the badge. What? Ugh. I wish the too many. And that means trigger happy. We stored what
Security control. Initiate trespasser error. Hope crew data error. Hibernation pod access is illegal. State your employer. Registered. Search concluded. No dissidents found.
I see you've located the stasis chambers. Which pod were you slumbering?
Poor bastards. They're never gonna wake up. The least we could do is bury them.
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am... Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. Certainly, you may skip the Hope to Tartarus, as you were instructed to by the adjutant. Doing so would bring the Hope within close proximity of Phineas Wells's orbital lab, allowing him to access the colonists frozen within. Your act would be immediately noticed across Terra 2, as the colony ship Hope abruptly enters into the planet's rings. Wait, I mean... Are you sufficiently prepared for the task at hand, Captain? Are we doing this now? Certainly. You may skip the Hope to Tartarus, as you were instructed to by the adjutant. Doing so would bring the Hope within close proximity of Phineas Wells's orbital lab. Your act would be immediately noticed across Terra 2, as the colony ship Hope abruptly enters into the planet's ring. Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will... and also potentially kill an entire planet. Jump-starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra... I wouldn't advise that, Captain.
Oh no. Captain, don't do this. I ain't dying on a fucking ship. I want to die in the dirt like we're meant to.
Admitting a deficit? My, you never cease to amaze me, Captain.
ADA, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro-jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred.
Yes,
You should not be doing this.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. These were the private quarters of the Hope's former crew. Shall we hold a moment of silence for the dearly departed? No? That's odd, because my programming would indicate that when forced to confront the idea of self-death, organics prefer... Oh, I see. Yes, never mind.
I don't know if we should be in here, Captain. It should be private, shouldn't it?
Error. Hope crew data not found. Identifiers error. Hibernate registered. A fine of 10,000 bits will be assessed in your corporation's ledger for failure to follow proper...
Should we assign Sam for a cleanup?
That's it. Captain, we ought to go. Please. This place is giving me the fucking creeps.
authorized personnel.
Captain, I am receiving a transmission from Dr. Wells. The transmission is marked with priority status. Urgent!
You... Of course I'm into...
anticipating it. What if I shoot a friend on it? Accident.
That's on account of your stance.
Captain, I shall now play the transmission.
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious firepower to pry me out of here. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate the board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. Do you hear me? You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me!
How can I be of assistance? See you soon. The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Can we chat?
Rizzo's purple berry punch. You want a punch?
Is it done? Well, damn. Contractor grew a conscience. As your employer, I'm both angry and disappointed. I'll add that to your file. Technically, I owe you an exit interview. Care to justify your betrayal of our species? Or are we finished here? You're awfully quick to trust someone who offed her colleagues and called it a good start. Out of my office.
You think maybe she's got an itchy trigger finger? I don't want to find out.
I said, get out. Time for you to move along. You keep lingering like this, I'm bound to get nervous. I said, get out.
B&B item.
Is it just me, or is I'm bound? Well, blast. I mean, have a look.
A reminder to all crew members. There is... only one toilet on the ship.
Move along.
If it isn't the savior of Groundbreaker, what can I do for you? Most places, I got a preference for the... You need anything? Be seeing.
We move cargo 16 hours a day.
This is Halcyon
Half of us
News.
still can't afford a
We
bed.
interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Hospital finals are...
Nobody needs to carry a...
Rizzo Spectrum Vodka.
Hey!
Rizzo's knock you out bar.
You've been flying the air.
If you're here for this week's... I found a hen... It's almost time for today's episode of... I've got a lovely little...
Hands off the lady, all right?
Hey!
Keep hanging around. What can I do for you? You have...
Now, is there something I can... a better selection than...
Just passing through.
Renegade finds Phineas Wells has been captured. Please celebrate appropriately.
You're fast.
All organic. This unit dispense protein. This user error in this unit is not designated. Beginning this.
Can we talk?
If you got a complaint, file it.
Move along.
Welcome. Not me. I was born in the...
Seeing these warp pockets can be macrowave in 2.5 seconds. Purple Berry Crunch, Triple Jump Flakes, and Purple Berry Power Nuggets. Now with 12% more crunch.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular...
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Caution! Infection! And maintenance job fulfilled.
You got a minute?
So then I told him, oh, ha ha ha, that tickles. Odd. Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you...
Phineas, locked up in Tartarus? We cannot let this stand. That place terrifies even the most hardened criminal.
And here we are, entertaining the notion of busting him out. That's insane. And likely a hell of a lot of fun.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain.
The labyrinth is a massive
Still, we can't do...
The answer... I am programmed to warn you whenever you...
Getting in is the simple part.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there...
I think it's insane. But maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits. But I couldn't live with myself if we didn't do something.
You're asking for more than brave...
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do best.
The entire plan is a
Outstanding.
You can count on us, Captain. We're crew. For real crew. That means we got each other's backs. Right?
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command, Captain.
Hey, Cap. Oh, it had been... Oh, shoot, don't you... Hey, Cap. Wait, what? What the hell's gotten into you, Captain?
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the... Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tártaro make departure impossible at this time. Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident... The interior... I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me. I can make the... Oh.
Attention. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed. Your ship is not permitted to leave until you remit payment for your fines and submit yourself to execution. Only...
Captain, I would not recommend this course of action.
Protocol is the sentencing of one crime does not... Tartarus docking authority signing up... Hang on. Looks like you're gonna have company at the Wait, is that from the groundbreaker? What the...
Transmission terminated. How can I be of assistance? I request you... Please be advised. Goodbye.
What? What was that? I better take a look.
Here they come!
One order of frickin' fan coming up. All germs and contaminants have been neutralized. Battery levels are fully...
The captain did right by us once. Now it's our turn. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat!
Groundbreaker doesn't
middle name? Detected! Congratulations, customer. Your SAM unit is performing at peak capacity. Sanitization assessment. The labyrinth on Tartarus. Task classification. Easy peasy.
I've got to admit, I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out.
Would you like Sam to tidy up this area? Waiting for confirmation command. Confirmation command not received. Entering quiet mode. Caution! Clean up the competition!
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
Let's talk when you're free.
Rizzo's knock you out bomb. A CCN 76 milk chocolate bar with caramel and Rizzo. It's time for a KYO. Renegade scientist Phineas Wells has been captured. Please celebrate appropriately. CNP pancake mix now requires no mixing. Seriously.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled. With advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defeat
Rizzo's purple berry punch. You want a punch? That's right. Here.
I am a dirty atomic. I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised. I would also ask. Oh.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. You are hereby confined. Tártaro.
Transmission terminated. How can I be? Sir, what? As you wish, Captain. Take care.
Status report. 13 jobs scheduled for area maintenance. Every SAM unit...
The captain did right by us
What
once.
was that?
Now it's ours. The board will never own groundbreaker. Not while I... Push on, Mardetta!
Resuming passive mode.
Great. More paperwork. Not a son.
Caution! Merlin is this unit's middle name. Invasive contaminants detected.
Company ammo.
The captain did right by us. The board will never own groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat!
It's not right. Put him down. What was that? Garbage up here. Stay down.
Showered with clicks.
this garbage out the airlock.
Sanitization assessment. The labyrinth on Tartarus. Task classification. Easy peasy.
I've got to admit, I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out.
Would you like Sam to tidy up this area? Waiting for confirmation command. Confirmation command not received. Muting volume now. Area filth level assessment. Disgusting! Concentration encroaching! Invasive contaminants. Object is soon to be speckless.
I am a storm!
Sterling.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the country needs our help. So get in there and fight!
Covering you!
Corpse detected. Middle name.
To shreds, you
You make it through. Sam cleans it up.
Identified. Your dropped object is an organic in rest mode.
I'm working as fast as I can, all right? If y'all would quit bothering me, I'd get this done sooner. Is that a joke? Y'all call me out to fix the FPS and now you're asking me who I am? Forced pacification system. If the prisoners riot, we gas them. It went a little haywire after the last deployment, so here I am. Anyway, I need to finish this, so get out of here, will you? What?
the chasm outside Stellar Bay was deep. This makes me nauseous.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for arguing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight.
Powered with prejudice. News cycle up to industrial stain.
I am a storm!
Body bag required.
Serves you right, isn't it?
Cycle complete.
Waste of company ammo.
Stay down, miscreants.
Waste of company ammo.
Dropped off is an organic in rest mode.
look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement. I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in. This...
Keep talking, you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody...
And... oh, I had heard you were dragging around a repurposed...
Interactive database updated. The unique...
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens. I'm not in your way, you dullard. You talk to me. You... Besides, I don't know what you think you're doing here, but Sophia's doing good work up there with Phineas. Yes, he is an extraordinarily... But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a... Oh yes, go on, wake them up. I don't know. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society? If I and my people can ride it out in luxury and happiness, yes, I would. I don't know if you've noticed, Captain, but Halcyon's pretty much a lost cause. We'll have to agree to disagree on that one, Captain. Now, if you don't mind... I've got work to do.
Caution! Infestation in progress!
Nice work!
For Monarch! We've got your back, Captain!
This is nice. Calm before the storm and all that.
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special solvent stain-out remover. It's ruthless on residual blood splatter.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. Words cannot express the extent of my disappointment. We had a plan. All you had to do was skip the Hope to Tartarus. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. I'm afraid you have a flair for subtlety. If you'd worked for me, for all your talents, you make a nuanced and... Dr. Wells, all that's left to do is put down this riot. I'm aware of your propensity for violence. Halcyon is a bloodier place because of you. You were one of my finest agents once. I had a feeling. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it and don't worry. I will inform...
System. Caution! Object is tuned to be backward.
Covering you!
Medical contamination occurring. Sanitation incoming! All germs and contaminants have been neutralized.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue. And you lunatic, you... I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single... 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their...
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the...
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our... Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better... You won't hear a word of disagreement from me. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Sanjar's civil liberties and worker-centric policies were slow to catch on with the other corporations. But as Halcyon began its long, arduous journey toward recovery, many of Terra 2's smaller townships started adopting MSI's alternative corporate structure, and eventually became entirely self-sufficient. In the coming years, many of these townships managed to eke by, where otherwise they might have starved. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. Over the years, the ruins of Edgewater caused irreversible environmental damage to the landscape of Emerald Vale, owing largely to the presence of toxic compounds in the town's building materials. As for Edgewater's former workers, their remains provided a source of nourishment for the region's fauna, leading to an explosion in the sprat population. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be found neck-deep in cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood. While the colony fell into chaos, she found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they formed an unusual bond. She decided to remain aboard the Unreliable permanently as its chief and sole engineer. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, an MSI subsidiary of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail, or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. You administered the colony in your own image. With the old power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years that were to follow, and helped ensure the survival of the colony until the end of your days. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.